Welcome to PM Movie Recaps. Today's pick is a tragedy and drama of 2018, Capernaum. If you're ready, let's enjoy the video. A cinematic scene of Lebanon is seen where children are playing, smoking and running. A boy named Zain is walking. A man counts Zain's teeth to determine his age and says that he's at least 12 years old. Zain is presented in a courtroom where Zain's mother and father are also present. Zain has been convicted for 5 years for stabbing someone. When the judge asks about Zain's age, his attorney replies that Zain has no birth certificate and has never been registered with the state. It is then revealed that Zain wants to sue his parents for giving him birth. Zain goes to different pharmacies with a prescription. When asked about it, he says it's for his mother. Then the pharmacist asks him why his mother didn't instead, to which he replies that his mother had a stomach operation, and his dad is paralyzed. After collecting the medicines, he goes to his home and starts mixing all the medicines with his family. They soak some clothes in the water mixed with those medicines. Later Zain goes to prison to sell those clothes. Inside, the clothes are washed, and the remaining water is used as a drug. This is one of the sources of income for Zain's family. Zain also works in a shop owned by the landlord where Zain's family is living. It is also revealed that Zain has many sisters, but his father just stays at home all day, doing nothing. The next morning, Zain with his sister, Sahar, goes out on the street to sell juice and he notices out that his sister is on her first period. He immediately washes her stained clothes and tells her that if mom finds out about this, she will give her to Assad, the landlord. He says that Assad is not a nice guy and if she goes with him, she will never be able to return. He gives his t-shirts to his sister to use as a sanitary pad. He also goes to the shop where he works, steals some sanitary pads for her sister, and starts selling juice on the street. This shows how much he cares about his little sister. Later that night, Zain tells his family that he wants to go to school, to which his mother agrees. However, she only allows Zain to go to school just because the school would provide him with free clothes and food, not for the education itself. This would save the family some money. However, his father refuses because if he goes to school, there will be no one to work in Assad's shop. His father is worried that Assad will kick them out of their house. Because of this, poor Zain continues to work in extreme conditions. One day, while returning from work, he sees that there are 2 chickens in his house, which leaves him curious. He peeps inside and sees Assad and Sahar sitting, accompanied by Assad's father. Zain is very furious that his parents has traded his sister for 2 chickens and argues about it with his mother, but she scolds him and sends him away. The next day, Zain leaves the house and asks a truck driver to drive him to Kola and he agrees. He goes back to his house to bring Sahar, but his parents have already taken her away to Assad. Zain feels bad about her sister and leaves his home. He boards a bus and notices an old man wearing Spider-Man clothes sitting next to him. However, instead of the spider symbol he has a cockroach symbol on his chest and says he is a cockroach man. He gets off near a children's park and Zain follows him. The park is empty, so he wanders for a while, then goes to a restaurant where he meets the cleaning lady known as Raheel. The kind lady gives him food and sends him off. He then goes to many shops looking for a job, but he doesn't find any. Later that evening, he again goes to the park. There, Raheel can be seen in the washroom where she hides her son, Jonas. It is revealed that she is an illegal immigrant worker staying in Lebanon. After completing her work, Raheel goes home. On her way back, Zain follows her and asks for food. Raheel feels bad for him and takes him to the place where she is staying and feeds him. The next morning, Raheel leaves her son with Zain and goes to work. Later, she steals a cake from her work and brings home to Zain and her child. In the next scene, Raheel goes to a guy named Aspro, who is known for forging fake documents. Raheel wants her work permit to be made in $900, but Aspro demands $1,500. The shady guy also says that he can make her permit free if she trades her child to him. Hearing this, Raheel angrily replies that she will never trade her son for any amount of money. Zain sees his neighbor watching TV, so he sets up a mirror and watches the show along with Jonas. Elsewhere, Raheel goes around and asks people for money so that she can make her documents. She even meets the father of her son, but he refuses to help. He doesn't even want to see the picture of his son and leaves. She then goes to a salon and sells her hair for some money. The next day, while leaving for work, she goes to a telephone booth and makes a call to her mother. She tells her mother that she won't be able to send any money this time as she is taking English classes. In the evening, Raheel does not return home, so the next morning, a worried Zain takes Jonas to Raheel's workplace. However, the owner reveals that Raheel didn't show up the previous day. After a bit of questioning, Zain finds out about Aspro. Later, he heads to Aspro's place and asks about Raheel, but even he isn't sure about her whereabouts. The cunning Aspro then gives Zayn a cold drink and tells him to sell Jonas, but Zayn declines immediately and leaves with the cold drink. Raheel has been caught by the police. People tell Raheel that if the police get to know about her child, they will take him away too. On the other hand, Zayn goes to different places to get food for Jonas, but everyone refuses. He then steals a bottle of milk for Jonas and feeds him, but Jonas cries and refuses to drink it as it was not from his mother. Later Zayn gets some ice and they both start eating it. This shows how terrible their situation was. Later, he reaches a market from where he collects some fish which were thrown away. Zayn cooks the leftover fish and the duo savor the meal delightfully. After they have eaten, Zayn goes outside and sees two children playing with a skateboard. He forcefully takes the skateboard from them and makes a trolley where he keeps Jonas and starts searching for food. After a bit of wandering, Zayn gets to know about a place where they are distributing free food to Syrian refugees. Zayn lies to them about being Syrian and tells them that Jonas is his biological brother. Despite catching his lies, the kind people offer him food, which he eats with Jonas. At home, Zayn takes out the water filter and goes to Aspro so he can get some money out of it. There, Aspro again tells him to sell Jonas. He continues that by selling Jonas, Zayn can make money and Jonas will get a family, but the adamant Zayn refuses again. He then tells Aspro that he wants to go to Turkey. Aspro replies that he can send him anywhere, but he just has to convince Raheel about the boy. Zayn goes to medical shops and buys some medicine and makes the same drug that his mother used to make. He then makes some money out of it and keeps it in a place where Raheel used to keep her money. Later, some thugs beat him up and take away his money and drugs. He then returns to his house, and he sees that his house is locked. Devastated, Zayn tries to break the lock, but a lady comes and scolds him away. At last, Zayn is left with no other option but to sell Jonas to Aspro. The cunning guy then asks Zayn to bring his passport and gives him $300. After this, Zayn goes to his original home where his mother welcomes him with a good beating. Later, he gets to know that his parents have never made him any identity documents and finds out that his sister, Sahar, is dead. This news upsets him, so he grabs a knife, runs towards Assad, and stabs him. After the incident, the police take him away and put him in jail where he meets Raheel. He is kept in a cell for children where there is a television. He calls in a reality show and says that he wants to sue his parents. The production team coordinates with the prison and parents to open the case. In the next scene, Zayn's parents and Assad are brought to court. His parents say that they are not at fault, it's because of their condition that they had to marry their daughter away. Even Assad says that her mother was married at the age of 11 but didn't have any problems. Then, the court asks Zayn what his intentions are. He just replies that he doesn't want his parents to have more kids. Later, police raid a warehouse where people are trapped. They also find Jonas there and take him. The police then arrest Aspro, who sends children to different countries for child labor. In the end, a social worker reunites Raheel with Jonas and the court helps Zayn make his documents. Thank you for watching, but before leaving please make sure that you click subscribe and turn on the notification so that you can enjoy watching more videos like this.